Hey everyone, so today I'm going to be showing you how to downgrade your original iPod from the latest firmware 1.5 or really any firmware that you have on here down to 1.0. That's going to be the original firmware that shipped with this iPod back in 2001. So a few things to note. This is an original iPod, 5 gigabytes. Now, you can't really get a 10 gigabyte version of this onto the original firmware because there's a hard-coded 5 gigabyte limit in the original software. So you're not even going to be seeing the entire 10 gigabytes that your iPod has. So this only really works well with the 5 gigabyte model because it's obviously you can be able to see all of what's on your iPod. So I do also recommend having an older Mac that runs on a PowerPC processor to do this. Now, I've heard that you can do this on an Intel Mac as long as you're running Snow Leopard or older, but I wasn't able to get it to work on my 2008 iMac, and that was running Leopard. So here I have this PowerMac G4, dual drive doors, mirrored drive doors actually, because you can see how mirrored it is, and it is currently on 10.2.8 Jaguar. So it works really well for this. I've actually done this before. I had to upgrade back to 1.5 on this iPod just to show you the process, but it's pretty easy to do. Also, I do recommend downloading the files on your newer computer, putting the applications directly on a USB stick, and then transferring it that way because I wasn't able to get the zip files to correctly unzip on this older Mac. So that's kind of also a consideration. Now, the first thing you will notice is that there will be two different applications. So you're gonna see this iPod software 1.0.4 updater program, and then this one is going to be the same thing, but it's gonna be modified with that original software on it. So first, what we are going to do is plug the iPod in, and I might have it the wrong way. Nope, I don't. So it should be just good to go like that, and it will reboot, and eventually you will see the do not disconnect message on the screen. So let's set that down. You're gonna go to iPod software 1.0.4 updater, and actually let's close out of iTunes here. So if I could actually quit, there we go. So we quit out of iTunes, go to the iPod software updater, and now you can see that it is seeing it as 1.5, and what we are going to do is click the lock to make changes. Put my password in, hit restore, and hit restore here, and now it should restore there. Now what it's going to ask you to do is unplug and replug in the iPod so it could complete the restore process. So we're going to do that now. So hopefully I could actually get that done. So hopefully, it's kind of hard to do it with one hand, but now, oh no, I'm dropping it. I don't want to break this collectible on camera. Whatever it is, let's see here. Let's plug it back in. Breaking a collectible iPod on camera. Let's go. Anyway, now you will see the font has changed. You can actually now see the original iPod font on this iPod, which is really cool. This was Apple Garamond, and they retired this font in 2002. So the first generation iPod was really the only one to have it. So that's kind of neat. So it's gonna load in now. So now you could see the iPod is on 1.0.4, but we could do a little bit better than that, can't we? So let's plug the iPod in, and hopefully it won't drop this time. Actually, I'll just set it down like this. So what it's gonna do, it's just gonna get connected to the computer. It's gonna open iTunes on my end, so we're just close out of iTunes right now, so I'll do that. iTunes and quit iTunes. Now, what we're gonna do is we are going to go in here. And this is going to be the modified version of the iPod 1.0.4 software. And now what we are going to do is we are going to restore it again. Hit restore there, and let's see what happens. All right, so we're going to have to unplug and replug in the iPod. Okay, so now that we've done that, it does actually say we are on 1.0. So let's just quit out of the iPod updater. So let's do that, and let's eject the iPod. And now let's just unplug the iPod. Hopefully we don't drop it. There we go. And now you see there are only 4 languages. These were the only 4 languages that were included with the iPod at the time of its launch in 2001. So we're going to do English. And now you can see we are on version 1.0. Yeah, so now we have an iPod on the original software, and now it's kind of moving around by itself because we have that scroll wheel. But that is really cool. Hopefully this helped you out. Thanks for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next one.